Welcome everyone. This is Nicki Keohohou, CEO and co-founder of the DSWA and Coach Excellence School. And I'm so happy that you've joined us and that you're part of what we have happening in the direct selling profession. You all are difference makers. You are all self-starters. You are all hungry to learn. All those things are blessings to our world, and especially to me. I'm thankful that you're here with us. So if you would like to mute your line, you can do that if you can't see that it's muted. Otherwise, if you want to talk, there'll be times to talk and there'll be times at the end. I always try to stay on at the end of the call to see if people have things that they would like to have brought up. And so just plan on that if you want to stay on at the end or if you'd like to be coached around certain things. I didn't include in this tonight is what do you say when people don't know things like, is this one of those pyramid things? I don't know why people say that. They're sort of lost. So I'm going to try and fit that in. If I don't, remind me at the end, we'll do that because I want to make sure that you know how to respond to that kind of a conversation. So let's start. The 4 ways to be proud of your direct selling business. I believe having pride in our profession is a critical part of what needs to happen. In order for us to hold our heads high and to let people know that this is where we belong. This is a good place for us. This is where we're supposed to be. This is what's happening in the world. So, and sometimes direct selling gets a bad rap. There are people that don't understand. I can remember my brother saying to me, Nicki, why are you doing that? You have an education. You can be a teacher. Why would you want to do that? Well, he just didn't understand it. And first of all, you can't convince somebody else. And I figured that out pretty early. I'm not going to convince him. I'm just going to show him. So when I was making more money than he was, he didn't quite get that early on. And then he finally figured it out. So sometimes if we just dig in and go do it, then there's nothing they can say about it. So the bad rap is that they don't understand it, folks. And so I am going to bring this in here right now, this whole part about the direct selling. Is this a pyramid scheme? Now, by the way, you're going to get this recording so you can listen to this again. So if you don't get all the notes or you don't get everything in the order in which it's said, you can always come back to it and you can listen to it again on the recording and fill in your notes. So when people say things like, is this one of those pyramid schemes? First thing to say is, I'm so glad you asked. They don't know what to do with that. They're waiting for you to get your dukes up and have a battle with them. Don't do it. It doesn't work. So instead, I'm so glad you asked. A pyramid is actually when someone is selling an opportunity to sell an opportunity. Let me say that again. A pyramid is when someone is selling an opportunity to sell an opportunity. And you can see by our beautiful catalog what wonderful products we have. Which of these lines interests you the most? Which of these products categories interests you the most? Because you see, we must educate people. We don't need to convince them. We can educate them. They don't know what a pyramid even is. So glad you asked. May I share with you what a pyramid actually is? Okay, a pyramid is when there's no product being sold. It's when someone is selling an opportunity to sell an opportunity. And you can see here from our beautiful catalog, or from our website, what wonderful products we have. Which of these lines interests you the most? Now, you just spun their head around a little bit and they're thinking a little bit differently. So the idea is to realize we are offering products to people. That's what we do. We share products with people. So a good product at a fair price that will make a difference for somebody in their life. Now, I want you to know this, but you don't have to tell them this, but I want you to understand. There are some companies that bring in a product. So let's say I'm going to sell water and it's a water from the tap. It's not got any vitamins or nutrition, anything special. And I'm going to sell you that bottle of water for $50. Now, that product must be able to be sold as a standalone without a compensation plan attached in order for it not to be a pyramid. So that they could maybe sell that bottle of water for $2, $3, but nobody's going to pay $50 for a plain old bottle of water. So when they do that, it's to make them look like they're not a pyramid, but they really are. So you understand what that is. We must police ourselves. You see a pyramid scheme, we've got to let somebody know, the FTC, somebody else, if you really believe it's a pyramid scheme, because you don't want to be in the middle of that thing. And we don't want that for our profession. We want people to realize we have great companies with great products with great opportunities. Did that make sense to you? Did anybody have a question about that or something that just didn't, you just weren't sure of? Oh, good. I've got New Zealand. Thank you, Penny, for calling in with the Thermomix. I love your company. Maria, you're from Norwich. Can't hop on the camera at the moment. That's okay. Glad that you're with us. We have Modera on the line tonight. We have a lot of different companies, Avon, and so on. So we've got a wide variety of companies. Thank you so much, because not everybody even knows about DSWA yet. So I'm glad you're hearing about it and that you're here to do something. So yes, sometimes we do get a bad rap. Guess what? That doesn't mean that it is bad. It just means people don't understand yet. So it's up to us to let the world know. Don't be afraid of letting somebody know that you're in this profession. You know, people will say, well, I have this little side thing, you know, that I do once in a while on the side, just as a little extra, just for once in a while. My real job is I work at 7-Eleven. I'm going to tell you something. This is a real career if you've chosen it as a career. Many people are choosing it as a part-time little side gig that they're making just an extra $100 or $500 a month. And that's okay. That we're going to find people like that. And I'm going to talk about the gig economy in a minute. So that'll give you some other additional thoughts around that. But I'm going to keep my chat box open so that if a question, oh, there's some more messages here. Isn't a pyramid scheme illegal? Yes, it is. That's why we must educate them about what it is. They don't know. It is illegal. Oh, good. We have Color Street here too. Mary Kay. A lot of different companies. Alberta, Canada. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sydney, Australia. One of my favorite cities in the world. A lot of Canadians. Texas. Well, we're getting a nice, good group from a lot of different places. Thank you for joining us. So sometimes it gets a bad rap. We must make sure we're doing the right things in this business. And that's why your professional associations are so important, because we are here to educate people and to educate people in the field so that we do say the right thing, so we don't make claims, so that we don't say, hey, you too could make $1 million this week. You know, we can't be doing those things. That's what's gotten us in trouble in the past. The other thing that's gotten us in troubles in the past is that we told people, hey, the product sells itself. My thing is, then why do we need you? Here, the product doesn't sell itself. You have a business. You're the one that's selling the product. So we say things, oh, you don't have to do anything. The money just comes in the mailbox. No, don't tell people that. This is a business, and it is a duplicatable, simple business if you follow systems that are being taught by your company and the best practices that are being taught through DSWA. If you're doing those things, that you can be successful in the business. It isn't easy. You do need to work, folks. So if we set people up for failure by saying you don't have to do anything, you know, people will find you and come buy from you. Wrong information to give them. So bad rap, sometimes we brought it on ourselves. Sometimes it was misinformation to the public where they didn't understand what we were really about and what we were doing. So what's different in the gig economy? There is a great book. A friend of mine wrote this book. Some of you know this person. His name is John Fleming, Fleming. You can buy this book on Amazon, or look up John Fleming. You can go, they have its own website. There's a resource area that you can get. I'm really telling you, he has put years into this book of studying what's going on in the gig economy. And I'm going to give you some information about it, but I want you to know what is different today. We all know that people have choices. They have a lot of choices, and there's more choices now than ever before. So we don't want to make it sound like the only way to come into this business is if you decide to make this your number one career choice and you're just going to work your little buns off. That's not what we want to say to people. This may be a choice. Most people do 2 or 3 gigs on the side to make up whatever they want. They're maybe not interested in selling or building a team. They may be only interested in selling the product. But if you throw them out when they don't want to join the company, keep them with you. Keep them connected to you as a referral source, as a customer, as a host. Keep them connected. It is different today than in the past. People aren't looking to make millions of dollars. Look at all the people that are walking away right now with this great resignation. They want options, they want choices, and we are it, folks. We get to be that choice. So it's up to us to make sure that we let people know we're here. You know, you've got the summer coming up. Wear swag, wear your company, something from your company when you go to your child's baseball game. You know, have catalogs to give out, do whatever so that they know you are in business. And it's okay if they just want to buy the product. Having more customers is what this is about today. Customer acquisition and retention. That's what we're working towards as a team. That's what the whole industry is working towards right now. I'm going to give you a couple statistics, and this is right from John's material. So, you know, get that Ultimate Gig book and watch what happens for you and for what you're going to know about what's possible. There are 57 million Americans involved in the gig economy today. So the gig economy includes your Uber, includes the landscaper, includes the house cleaner, includes the person that's driving Lyft. There's a lot of different options, and includes all the direct selling businesses. We're all part of that gig economy. Well, there's 57 million Americans involved in it today. That's a lot of people. We have $1.4 trillion that has contributed to the US economy because of the gig phenomena. 40% of US workforce is involved. So 47% of the people, you can take a picture of this if you want, you can get it right out of the book. 40% of the US workforce is involved in the gig economy right now. So guess what? We want to reach those people. And I think that is going to grow. I don't think that's going to stay that small. I think it's going to grow every year, particularly over the next 5 years. People want choices. Up to 80% of the people may be interested. They've said, I would be interested in finding out more. But you know what? We forget to tell people, we zip our lip and, no, I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this. No, be loud and proud. Now's the time to be loud and proud. There's people looking for you and towards you to find something. It's growing at a rate of 8.1% per year. That's significant. Significant. The workforce growth is at 2.6% per year. That tells you right there, they're coming into the gig economy. And we are it, folks. We're a big part of that. The direct selling world is a huge part of what's going on for people having more choices, for mothers to be able to be home and raise their children, for fathers to be more involved in their families. They are looking for those choices, and we have it. We're there. Pretty exciting. So there's ways to be proud of your business and your profession, and to show up being proud of your business and your profession, letting people know about what you're doing. It doesn't mean you oversell them. It doesn't mean you try to convince them. It doesn't mean that you nag them to death. What it means is engaging people. This business is about relationships, folks. We build relationships with people. We find out how they want to play in the sandbox, how we get to be of support to them and of service to them. It's us being of service to them. It's not us taking advantage of them. They're not doing us a favor. We're doing them a favor by letting them know about it. And that whole old way we used to say, would you do me a favor and listen to, I have a spiel for you about what I'm doing now, and I want you to be able to do it too. So, would you do me a favor and listen to? No, you're setting it up in the incorrect fashion with that, because what you're saying is you have nothing to offer. You're asking for a favor. You have a lot to offer, folks. You have a lot to offer. So this first way, I want you to think about this. how to craft your business around your authentic self in your life. You're going to show people that this is a great profession because you build your business by being you. You're not trying to be anybody else. You're not trying to act like you're somebody that you're not. You're not trying to be your upline or your $1 million earner in your company. That's not who you are. Be your authentic self and build the business around your life. You see what happens for people that are in the workforce, they are building their life around their work. And that's how they have to do it. People aren't working 8 to 5. They go and commute starting at 6 a.m. and they get home at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So whatever life they have, they got to squeeze it into the weekend if they're not working, and the evening. We get to do this. So make sure you're thinking about that. How can I craft my business around who I am, my lifestyle, my family, and my life? You have that option in this business. Boy, that's a thing to be proud of. You are creating choices for yourself, and you're giving other people options. And that's what they're looking for right now. Why our profession is something you can be proud of? Think about this for a minute. You are at a place that people are hearing about us more. This book, The Gig Economy, is part of that. It's on the news. This Great Resignation is making that happen. People understand that you have created your life and that it may be $500 a month. That may be what makes it you just happy as a clam. Might be $5,000 a month. Might be $50 a month. I don't know what it is. Whatever that is for that person, that's why us asking more questions, we don't need to convince people to join us. We want to engage them. What brought you to meet with me today? What are you looking for in a gig? What matters to you most right now in your life? Those questions are ways that you can engage somebody. And it's not so much about what the business has done for you, because that was our old school kind of way. You have our little 30-second commercial that turned into 30 minutes about how wonderful we are and what we've done, how much money we made and what trips we've earned and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you. We did it like that for years. It is not that way anymore. They don't want to know all that. They want to know what's in it for them. So asking questions here. And if they ask you, but this is another interesting thing, because I don't know what it is, but people think they can ask you how much money you're making. Only happens in our business. Does anybody here go to your gynecologist and go, well, how much money do you make, honey? I don't think so. We don't do that. But for some reason, they think they can ask us. So I'm going to give you a few little words around that subject that will support you. If someone says, well, how much money do you make? Here's some verbiage that will support you. I make a significant amount of money, because guess what? It's significant to you. That could be $50. That's significant to you. That's a personal thing. I make a significant amount of money, and there are people in our company that make significantly more than me. What would be significant to you? You bring it right back to them. You shine the light on them. So I make a significant amount of money, and there are people in our company that make significantly more than me. What would be significant to you? And they might say $50. They might say $5,000. I don't know what they're going to say. You just keep the light on them. Then they don't come back to, well, how much exactly do you make? You don't want to get pinned in a corner. So this is a way to not get pinned in the corner and still show that you're proud of your career choice, because it's made a difference for you. It has. By the way, somebody caught this and put it into the chat box. I interviewed John Fleming as a guest speaker, and I put him. He's on our app. If you're a member of DSWA for $8.95 a month, you can go in and listen to that call. He was very good. I enjoyed every minute of working with him in that time. So your opportunity to prioritize yourself and your mental health. This is your opportunity. You get to prioritize yourself. It is not selfish, folks. It is not selfish. It's like you cannot give water from an empty well. With this business, we can figure out how to make ourselves a priority. You showed up here tonight. You made yourself a priority. Doesn't mean that that you didn't care about your husband or your children or whoever else was in the house with you. You found a way to pour into yourself. That many women don't know how to do that. They don't make themselves a priority and they get burnt out. Your mental health. Why I'm talking about mental health is because we have a major challenge in our country right now with mental health. I will say it was probably worse during COVID, but a lot of it is still hanging on. It's hanging on for kids. You know, we have like 68% of the children between 13 and 18 are dealing with mental health right now, anxiety, anxiousness, suicide, all that stuff. Well, the adults are doing it too. So here is something that, and that's actually why we started our insurance program with the whole telebehavior. You can call into a therapist every single day if you wanted to with that. $49.95 a month, unlimited, as much as you want to go. So, but I'm telling you, why did we prioritize that? Because we know it's a problem. We know it is a challenge out there. So you take care of yourself and your own mental health, a lot of different reasons. Who can guess why you are in a good, positive place in this business? And thank you for that point, Nina. Self-care is not selfish. It's caring for yourself. It's loving yourself, and that's okay. But who could type into the box, what makes this such a good place to be inside of the direct selling space versus in a job where you're working 12, 14 hours a day with no harmony in your life whatsoever? Big thing. Thank you, Sheila. You're surrounded by positive people. I've very rarely met a poopy person in direct selling. They're almost always nice, quality, good people. That you have life balance options, that you can live more in harmony. I choose the word harmony over balance because harmony is like a song, and you have the trumpets and the violins and the all the different instruments that all can blend together. Balance, you're on this little balance board it's work. So I use the word harmony. You can use whatever you want, but I believe you will live more in harmony because you have an option to do that. It is a licensed therapist not a psychologist or psychiatrist. There's choices. You can pick what you want. You get to pick a person. There are tons of resources and support. That's another reason why this opportunity supports you in your mental health, that you have more freedom. More freedom. And here Stacy says it, choices. You can choose. Now, here can be a challenge with that. I can choose to work or not work today, so I don't think I'll work. So if you don't work, you're not going to make any money. I'm telling you in advance, you got to do something to make money in this business. And if money isn't your thing and you just want to make a difference for people, donate it to your church or somebody else. That's okay. You have personal growth opportunities. Thank you, Teresa. Glad to have you on the call. It is so true. There's so much personal growth that takes place in our businesses. Who we become over the years of being in this business increases our opportunities so much more. We create our own success. We do. And we have people that we can go to for additional support. A freedom to make choices, sisterhood, and positive energy. Isn't it a beautiful thing to have energy around us that is very positive, people that are very positive, and that rubs off on us. And we meet people who have figured this out, how to do this with their family. You don't have to choose, folks. You really don't. You get to make your own choices. Cindy, nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Sheila says personal growth is encouraged. It is. We find out about good books. We find out about good classes. We find out about ways to take care of us, how to self-coach, how to listen. There's so many things that we can learn. We can make our own work schedule. Be consistent, whatever you do. Yes, you can make your own work schedule and you don't have to work. You don't. But guess what? If you don't have some time blocked off to do the work, you can have a very peaceful, wonderful life with no money. So that isn't nearly as fun. I'm just saying. if you want, money gives you choices. And this is one thing I gotta say this. There's a lot of women that feel guilty about making money and they think I'm making money off people. You're not making money off people. You're making money because you're supporting people, because you're educating, because you're teaching, because you're earning that money. You're not making it off anybody. Money gives you choices in life. You can give where you want to. You can pay for things for other people that you choose to. It really does give. It's a lot more fun to have more money than none. I recently read that people who are entrepreneurs are 2.7 times more likely to engage in strong personal development, and I totally believe that. That sounds very logical to me. I like to tell people that I'm part of a team that supports me in succeeding instead of competing with me. That is so true because out there in the workforce, there's a lot of competition. You don't know who's really your friend. This is a place where everybody supports one another. And if that's not the culture in your company, you be the one to start it because you can make a difference in your own culture of your company. We have the choice to work when we want to and when we want to play and when we're not going to answer our phone. I want you to get this. Nobody died of a voicemail. I promise you, nobody will die of a voicemail. They'll figure it out. You'll get back to them in 48 hours. It's okay not to answer the phone, just as it is okay not to race to the dryer when the buzzer goes off. Nobody will die of a wrinkle either. So just let some things go and be present where you are. That's it. Here's Gina. I'm so glad that you're here with us too. I introduced direct sales as a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. And a lot of people say it that way. It's a way to grow as a person and earn an income. So much of what we learn, the skills that directly transfer to enriching our lives and relationships, it is so true. Just everything that we teach is for your whole life. Never feel guilty about attending something that your company offers or a DSWA event because it will make you a better person, a better daughter, a better wife, a better mother, a partner, a friend, all of it, because you're exposed to things you would not have been exposed to otherwise. So, boy, you had a stream of good reasons and that this opportunity is good for you. And I'm so happy about it. So, we want to share our business in an authentic, successful way that's received with positivity. We do not want to attack people. Learn how to be interested in others. They will find you interesting when you are interested in them. Learn how to be present with people. You don't need to exaggerate. You don't need to make up stories. Be truthful with people. They will receive it as the truth and in a positive way. It may or may not be right for them. They may know somebody that it is right for. So we always ask for a referral. The thing that I know about this profession, I'm so glad that I became part of it. I really am. And it's been a lot of years. I was a really shy, quiet person. You could have never paid me to get up in front of people and talk. I could talk in front of kids because I was an elementary teacher, but on the parents' night, I was scared to death. So it gave me confidence to be okay in front of people. And one of the things I learned, if there's anybody on here that it's scary to you to talk on a Zoom or at an event or a party or even on the phone with somebody, remember that conversation isn't about you. They're not there to judge you and to make decisions about you. It's you get to be you and they get to be them, and you're there as a gift sharing something that is of value to them. That is a beautiful thing to be able to do that. And if you focus on them versus yourself, it's a whole lot easier. I just I can talk in front of 100,000 people now, and it doesn't affect me because I know it isn't about me. I can make a mistake. I can say a wrong word. I can forget something. And you know what? If people know that's who you really are, they're usually okay with that. I don't need to be perfect. And in fact, please let go of perfectionism. That is a generational thing. Somebody on this call is supposed to be hearing this thing right now. It's a generational thing. And you came from your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, or somebody in your life that when you loaded that dishwasher, it had to be exactly like this. And no wonder you hate to do dishes today. And and no kid wants to follow what mom says that this is how the only way to do it. Be an example of letting people learn and discover in life. So when you let go of perfectionism, you enjoy the journey more. When you let go of perfectionism, everybody else doesn't think they need to be perfect too. So just be your authentic self. And how you do it may not be exactly like your upline. That's your choice how you do it. Learn best practices by being on things like this and asking questions. I'm just saying, you get to let go of perfectionism here because nobody's expecting that from you. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect. Imperfect progress is better than perfect procrastination. Wendy, I love that. Would somebody send that to me afterwards? Don, since you know my email, will you send that to me afterwards? Imperfect progress is better than perfect procrastination because that is the truth. That's what people do. They wait and they wait and they wait because if they can't do it right, they're not going to do it all. We even heard that as kids. Well, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. Well, who decides what's right? What's in between perfect and not doing it? Progress is between those two. So if you don't do it at all and you never get started, and perfect, there's progress if you did something. And I love this comment. Thank you so much, Sherry. It is our business, not your uplines, not the person sponsored you. It's your own personal business. You get to decide. And by the way, nobody comes into direct selling to have a boss. They didn't come here to have you or anybody else be their boss. They came to be an independent contractor. They came to own their own business, to be the CEO of their own company. They did not come here so that you could tell them what to do. They're not in it for that. So those are some of the ways. Now I'm gonna invest some time on this one thing. The time is right for our profession. The time is right now. I think back, I can remember, the Avon woman coming to see my mom, and she had those little tiny tubes of lipstick. And oh, my mom would let me sit in with her and listen to what she said. And I sometimes got a little one of those little lipsticks, even though I didn't wear lipstick. It felt good on my lips. I could go to sleep with it on. But I watched her. And so in days in the past, the only way you could do this business was, they called it belly to belly. We didn't even do it that much on the phone because it was expensive for a long distance phone call. So everything was long distance. The next town over was long distance. But my mother used to wait till after 10 o'clock at night to call people because it was cheap. Well, that probably wasn't the best thing. So I'm saying to you, we aren't in that era. We don't have to be belly to belly. We get to do things through Zoom. We get to do things on social media. We get to use a computer. We get to use our cell phone. I was BC when I started this, before cell phones and before computers. That means it was a long time ago. That was pretty scary. That's how it happened. It's not like that anymore. We have lots more tools to simplify this process. This woman looks like she's on the move. She's out. She's got her phone with her. She can do her business wherever she is. We must attract the younger people in addition to any age. We must attract all ethnic groups for them to know they have a home here. Purposefully look for people who don't look like the rest of your organization. We want to bring in diversity into our business, and everybody can be successful. There's no glass ceiling for anybody. So right now is the time, folks. People are very aware. The gig economy is here to stay. It is not going to go away. Young people are graduating from college and coming straight into our business. They're using the skills that they're getting in college to come into our business. It's not thought of how it was in the old days. Why are you doing that? Use your degree. You're using that whatever that may be here. If it's math, if it's communication, if it's English, if it's speaking, you're using it in this business. You get to use all the skills that you've developed over your lifetime in this business. That is a really good thing. So we're getting, the bad rap that has been out there in the past. They aren't finding things to say about us, because part of what's happening is companies are way more aware of compliance things. They're teaching compliance in the company. They have bots that go out into the internet world and see where claims are being made, and they can find you. You can't hide anymore. There are companies that run a whole business just doing that, looking for people making claims and letting companies know, because they want to protect us. We want to protect us. So people are looking, and people that are leaving their jobs don't know what the options are unless we have a way of letting them know. Every new neighbor that comes into your neighborhood, I'd have a little gift package for them with something with your products and what you have, and a little thing on the opportunity. I love Dawn, and she's on this call, and I've gotten to know her really well. She's been to a lot of our coach schools and things, and I was with Dawn here in Hawaii when she came over here, and we stopped at the Dole Pineapple Factory to have their beautiful. You got to go there if you ever come to Hawaii. You need to stop, have the pineapple ice cream. It is just the best. Anyway, we stopped to have our pineapple ice cream. We're sitting at this table, and this lady comes up and says, "Hey, are these chairs taken?" I said, "No, help yourself. Sit down." So these two little Chinese girls joined us, and Dawn got up and gave them a little gift. She had a lip gloss and a little note in there, and a little bit of information, very nicely presented, handed it to the ladies. Each one of them got their own. And, I thought, she is not afraid to stand up and be proud of what she's doing. She is someone that is excited about her business and her life. You obviously have some of those gifts inside of you right now. I'm telling you, because you wouldn't be on this call. You want to know how to get better at what you're doing. And we got to let people know this is our real career. Wherever you're traveling this summer, you're on holiday, take a few products with you. Ask people if they'd be willing to have a demonstration in their home. Find out what you can do to give people another choice. And it might be their 18-year-old child that just graduated from high school and can't get a job or doesn't want one of those jobs that are out there. And maybe it's them. Maybe they would be the one. Maybe it could be the retired person. Today people are retiring, and they're not ready to retire. I'm certainly not ready to retire. I got a lot in me yet. As long as my brain is still functioning, I'm going to keep going. So that they still feel they have value, but many of them are forced into retirement early, and they're not washed up. Look at those people. Give them an option. I just have to tell you a funny story. I thought this guy was really resourceful. I had a back injury. My husband dropped me off in front of Walmart, and then he went and parked, and he had to park a long ways away. So I was in the entry for quite a while. And I just was sitting there, and I just said good morning to people as they came in. And hi, isn't it a beautiful day? And I'd talk to the people as they came in the door. And pretty soon this man comes out, and he goes, "I haven't met you yet." And I said, "Well, I haven't met you either." And he goes, "Well, I'm the manager here." And I said, "Oh, nice to meet you. You have a beautiful store." And he said, "Who hired you?" And I said, "Well, actually, I hired myself. I don't work here." And he goes, "Oh, I heard about this great greeter that we had up front." And he goes, "Could you use another job?" And I said, "Actually, I have a very full life, and I love what I get to do. I'd be happy to train your greeters if you'd like that. But for right now, I've really got enough going on." But I thought, isn't that interesting? Just from being nice to people, you automatically do that. So guess what? Maybe you don't want to be the greeter at Walmart, but guess what? You can greet people walking down the street. You can talk to people, connect with people. That's what it's about. The time is right for our profession. It is up to us to let people know what we're doing and what we have to offer and choices. And we get to give them the opportunity to see beyond their current circumstances. I truly believe that direct selling, gives hope to people. We give hope. We let people see possibilities beyond their current circumstances. Maybe you don't have your doctorate degree. Maybe you weren't in a C-suite in a company. Maybe you came right into your business. Maybe you worked in a restaurant and found direct selling. I don't know how you got here. It doesn't matter. We all have the exact same options to grow this business as big as we want. But I'm telling you, there are people out there looking. So right now is the time. Talk to people. Let them know what you have, what you're about. Have an awareness about it. Do not oversell them. Do not overcommit. Do not convince them. Engage them. And that's what is beautiful about where we are. So I'm curious. I'd like to hear. I'm going to save time here at the end for any kind of questions or things. But I'd like to hear your ahas. That aha is your light bulb moment. What came up for you during this class? We got a lot of comments in here. So who would like to share something? You can speak it out or you can write it into the box. Someone says, I had a quasi breakdown and had to leave my day job. It opened up the opportunity for my company and it's helped my confidence, relationships, and more. Mental health is more open now, and direct sales is right on time for us. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you saw that.
I'll go, Nicki.
Yes, please.
Hi. Well, direct sales is new for me, as well as being in business. I went into direct sales 4 years ago at age 65, having been a stay-at-home mom, grandma, wife, et cetera, et cetera. And it has changed. Well, obviously working with you has helped tremendously too, because my growth is just, over the past 4 years, has just been incredible. And what it's done for me and for my headspace and my wallet has been astounding. And I don't have an upline. I am my own upline.
And Nina, I'm watching all the advancement that you're getting. I see that online because I follow your company, and I am so proud of you because you didn't make not having an upline an excuse. You joined another group and they adopted you and you stepped in and you asked, I could use some support, and they're supporting and honoring you. You know, we can be a victim or we can be a victor. I choose to be a victor and find a way, and so have you. So congratulations.
I'm actually in 2 groups. I didn't stop at one. I joined Rachel Latuca's group as well.
Oh, beautiful. See, look at you.
So she became a very dear friend. So it's blossoming. It really is.
Good for you. Here's another comment from Maria. We say hello, greet each other. Oh, it just slipped by me. Sorry, I missed it. Darn it. Okay, here's another one. I would love to quit my job and go full-time in direct sales. Have a plan for that. Thank you for that thought, Joanne. You don't quit today. Get your plan and your strategy with how will you replace that income and more. Not just replace it, beyond that income, and create the life you want to choose. So that's something for you just to start planning now, and let whoever sponsored you into the business know that that's what you're looking for. You're excited to build this and replace that income. When they know and you have desire, everybody look for people with desire. Just because somebody has potential doesn't mean they're going to do anything with it. Look for people with desire. Fabulous is a lot like perfect, but way less boring and a lot more fun. Very true. Be fabulous. Here it is. We say hello, greet each other. Doesn't cost anything, but the payback is plenty. Very true. Thank you for that comment. Somebody else had a verbal comment. Who was that? I cut you off. I apologize. A great reminder to know that people are looking more now than ever for options, and boy, they are. There's so much, you know, it's like, have you ever met people that look at a glass and they see it half empty and the other person sees it, you know, half full? I'm not saying you go through life, because I had people say this to me as a young person. You look at the world through rose-colored glasses. Well, I'd rather have them be rose-colored than black. in any day. I want to see what's good in the world. And people aren't happy in go to your oldie moldy class reunion. I did it recently, and there were a bunch of oldie moldies there. All they want to talk about is retirement. That's all they want to talk about. And I'm going to say to you, then what do? Die? I mean, how many people retire and die? We don't want that. So let's give people a choice to be working towards something that they want, not what they don't want. Sherry says, we give hope. Thank you for picking that up. Here's another thought. I don't see John's book on Amazon, The Ultimate Gig. It might be under that, but if you put Fleming with one M, Fleming, you'll find it that way. I know it's there. Or you can go to the website, which is The Ultimate Gig, and buy it there. Hope, that is to help other people evolve. That's what we get to do. We get to support people in their evolution. When we focus on what's good around us, we see the good. It is so true. You know, so many people are victims to life. They go through life thinking it's everybody else's fault what's happened to them, and they don't have choice. We have a choice every day. We have a choice of joy every day to get up and be happy and to have joy in our life. You get to choose that every day. It's called The Ultimate Gig by John Fleming. Thank you, Lisa, for putting that in there. I hope to still do this when I retire from my day gig. Very, very good. Thank you, Karen. I want that for you too. Wendy says, great value, Nikki. Thank you. I have to jump on another Zoom. We're zoomed out. My grandbabies are calling me a Zoomie these days. That's their new name for me. Oh, here it comes, Zoomie. All right, have to opt out. All right, I understand. So I'm going to share something before y'all go. I want to go back to sharing this, because I want you to know about a special thing that we have coming up, which I'm very, very excited about. You're all going to get so much from this. We have a mini course that is coming up April 19th and 26th. It's $99. It's a great course, 2-part course. And you can get all the information. There's the link, write down the link, dswa.org/sponsor. It's learning about sponsoring and how to sponsor in today's way. Not convincing, it's engaging. So you're going to learn some of the coaching skills in that class. It's a coach approach to sponsoring, well worth the money. You will also get the recording. So if you can't be on there, you can go back and listen to it again if you'd like. But it's going to be a really good class. First time we've done this as an open class. We've done this privately for different groups and companies, but we've never done it as an open class. So this is a really good opportunity for you to step in and to learn. And of course, take a look at DSWA as an organization, because we'd love to have you be a part of that. If somebody wanted to write that link into the chat box, that will be helpful for somebody if they didn't get it. So this is your time and I am here for you. So how can I support you? Either on anything we talked about today or on anything else that's coming your way that you're kind of stuck or lost, or you lost your vision or whatever it is. And there's more classes. Every month we do this free class. You can go to dswa.org/events. If somebody could write that in, dswa.org/events. And you can see a ton of classes that are coming up. So we want to make sure that you do that. Sadie, I like your backdrop there. So anybody else?
I have a question.
Thank you.
Yes. Who was that?
Me, Stacy Steele.
Oh, Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi. So what is your approach to when you're talking conversations in general with people you don't know that well? Like, for example, I was at a pedicure today and the girl asked me what I do. So what do you think is the best approach in today's gig economy of how to say what we do?
What type of product do you have?
Oh, I'm with Mary Kay.
Okay. So first of all, if you use the word I teach versus I sell, is like to walk towards you when you say, so I teach people how to look younger longer. What do you think she's going to say? How do you do that? Oh, I have some wonderful products that are anti-aging products, and that I'd be happy to give you a new look. Or if I teach people, how do I do that? They're going to ask you. You want them to ask. You don't want to give them a ton of information. Let them ask. So I teach people how to look younger longer. I teach people how to have the freshest new look that are with this season. That's a nutritional company. I teach people how to live a healthier life. How do you do that? I teach. That's one thing. So thank you, Stacy. That was a good question, and I'm sure that will benefit a lot of people. Anybody else? You create curiosity. You're right, Sherry. We want to create curiosity in them. Who else has a question or a comment? Stacy, do you feel like that's enough to get you started?
Well, I was just going to make a comment. So she's like probably maybe 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, what do you do? And I said, I teach skincare and makeup. I've been doing it for 20 years. And she didn't say anything. But then about 5 minutes later, she was talking to the girl in the other chair. And she said something about, oh yeah, that girl went full time with her Thrive business, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, oh, interesting.
So I teach the skincare and makeup. There's a lot of places that they can learn about skincare and makeup. So it is, because she's a young person, she doesn't care about anti-aging right now, doesn't know, I teach people all the current new looks in color cosmetics. I teach people based on what is happening right now in 2022 to simplify your life with our products. That her need is different than a person that's 50, 60 years old. That might have helped. Now, when you overheard that with Thrive, and it's somehow, if you can get in there, I have chosen a full-time career. Now that is a different thing. If you think, so you don't know. If she'd said that first, you would have probably adjusted what you were going to say, but she didn't say it first. You heard that afterwards. And so it's never too late. So I would still try and get her attention back again with a sample and say, yeah, I'd like to give you a sample and offer to do, a free consultation with you and let you know how many people are choosing part-time or full-time and replacing their income with a career with our company. You don't even need to say the name of the company at this stage. If she asks, then, tell her, be proud of the company you're with because you have a quality company. It's still, everything is based on that person and their behavioral style. So watching people before you make statements is always a good thing. If you haven't studied the behavioral styles, you want to get on the DSWA website. Your company, Stacy, has done a lot. Although I think they put them in a box. They put people in a box, and you're such a D, or such an I, or whatever. I don't care for that. But I will tell you, when you learn how to look at somebody, listen to their speech patterns, the word choices they have, and you know how to discover behavioral style, you are way ahead of the game on everybody else. And we do teach that in our level 1 Coach Excellence School, which we're going to start. We're going to have one in May. We just added it. So I want to make sure y'all knew that. Thank you, Stacy. Anybody else with a comment or a thought? And I'm glad you asked a question. Don't be afraid. There's nothing that is going to, there's nothing weird that you're going to say to me that I haven't heard before. You're here for a reason. What do you want to get out of this time we have together? Is there anybody that has been stuck or has a family member that is not supportive of you? Here's somebody that sells nail care products. What about an opening for Color Street? And somebody typed in a good thought. I teach women how to make their nails look fabulous without smudging. I simplify people's lives by providing a nail care product that they can do for themselves in their home. That there's something to that, because some people like to go to the pet mani pedicure place because they like to be pampered. Well, you can pamper yourself too, or you can do it with a girlfriend, and in your own home. Saves people money and time.
Sorry, Nicki, just to help you out, Deb was asking, if they don't ask you, how do you approach someone to give them a book or a sample?
So if they haven't approached you, how do you approach them? Build the relationship with the person, talking to them for a minute, noticing something about them. And I'll tell you, whenever you comment on a child, everybody loves it. Their child's with them or their dog is with them. People love that. Be honest. Don't make up stuff. I don't have pretty dogs. I'm just going to say I have slightly used dogs that are not cute or pretty or anything. So if somebody comes and said, "Oh, what a beautiful dog," I think you were full of baloney. So don't do things that aren't true. But they're wonderful, wonderful pets. I will say that. Anyway, so find a way to connect with them in some manner, and then just be present with them. And you look like an interesting person. I go out, networking things. I don't run up to everybody. I look for people that I think are interesting. I do, and I'll say, I wanted to talk to you. You look like an interesting person. Tell me about you, and then I just listen. I don't sell them on anything. I listen, and whatever they tell me, I find something in there that I find interesting and a connection point, and then we go from there. Ask more questions. Ask questions of people. You'll learn a lot.
It's funny that you say that, Nicki, because that's actually one way that I recruit is if I'm at a store at a Macy's or, and I got an amazing service from the person there, or she has a great smile, I'll say, "You know what? You are amazing. Thank you so much for have such a great, gregarious personality. By the way," because, I'm in Thermomix. He goes, "By the way, do you like to cook?" And then I just kind of start the conversation that way. And I've actually recruited a couple of people that way because I like their personality. They gave me great service, or they have a great smile. But start with the compliment on that, and then invite them.
And even, thank you, Gina. And I know you're good at that. And I'll say this, an acknowledgement is even more powerful than a compliment, and they're different. So an acknowledgement was with that person in the store. I noticed how you connect with every person in this line, how you show up 100% to every person in this line, how thoughtful you are to every person. I chose your line. I choose the lines I go into. I look for people that are respectful and kind and I let them know that. And they always are so happy, because people don't notice that. So acknowledge people of a quality that they possess, something that you saw in them. I saw how you handled your child in that situation, and I want to let you know I'm certain you must be a very good mother. So that probably makes you just a good person in general. I'd like to know you. Tell me about you. I mean, it takes a few seconds, but boy, you meet interesting people. They may not be somebody that is going to join your business. They could be a customer. They could refer you to somebody. A lot of other ways that they could do it. Lisa says, "I love the open-ended questions. What would be significant to you? What interests you the most about this? What matters most to you?" Those open-ended questions move people. You get to know who they are. I have unsupportive friends and family. Oh, that's a tough situation. They don't know yet. But if you don't let them know what you're doing, this is what they do when you're successful. They come back to you, your friends, and say, "You're lucky. You're so lucky. Look at how you've done in that business. You're so lucky." Don't ever let somebody tell you that. I just say, "Oh, it has nothing to do with luck. I found a good product, a good opportunity, and I worked. And I'm blessed at the people I've met and the people that I've been able to share this opportunity with, who also are blessing other people." That is going to make them wonder. But if you say, "Oh, thanks," they think that you were lucky, and you weren't. This isn't luck. This isn't a lottery. Your name wasn't drawn out of a hat. You earned what you're earning. Now, I'm going to tell you something about your family. It is sometimes difficult to get your family to understand, and especially sometimes the husbands. The way to the husband is through the pocketbook. They got to see some money coming in. Otherwise, they think that you're being taken away from them, and they don't see the return on investment. First of all, call this your family business. This isn't your business. If it's your business, they think that you're the only one that's going to benefit from it. So give examples like, so your child wants new soccer shoes this year. Yeah, their toes coming out the end, but there's money for you to go buy those soccer shoes. Let them know our family business purchased these soccer shoes for you. So when mommy goes out to go do this, that is money that's coming back to our family. And if they know that, they tend to show more respect. And sometimes they want to push you out the door so that there can be more for the family. Have a conversation with your family. Some of you are ending your year, the end of June. And if that's the case, get with your family and say, what is our goal for our family business next year? What would be a win for all of us? And they'd say, oh, well, we'd like to go on vacation. Where would you like to go on vacation? You could talk about that. What are you willing to do to support the family business so that we can make that your reality? And then do what you say you're going to do. Earn that dang trip. Get that. You earn enough money to get them to Disneyland or whatever that is. Because if they see something's in it for them, they're much more happy versus you being taken away from them. Just keep pushing forward. Just keep moving forward, because we don't want to be pushy people. Just keep moving forward. People not coming into direct sales hardly get praise. They do. That is so true. People that come into our business, nobody even recognizes them at their company. I had to tell an executive just recently, you know what? Your corporate team is burning out on you. You may not like what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. You know, your corporate team is burning out on you. Letting them know that they can take a day off is a good thing. They haven't had a vacation in a couple of years. What's going to happen to them and what's going to happen to your company? I mean, I had to talk to them about it. Here's what I'm saying to you. People want more than money. The number one I used to own youth fitness centers, gyms, and I had a modeling school. And everybody that worked for me, I put out a notice that had like 20 things that the reason they wanted to work here. And you know what? Money was almost always at the bottom of the list. A place that is enjoyable environment, a place where I'm appreciated, a place where I can make a difference. That was the stuff they were looking for. And my guess is it's not much different today. They aren't hearing from their boss that they're valuable. They just get added on another job. Oh, I had to let somebody go, so you're going to get their job too. So people are looking for that. The positive environment is a big factor. Just came back from an earned trip to Hawaii. I'm so glad, Deb. I wish I would have known you were here. My husband is much more positive about our family business because he got to go do that. They see the results of it. That's why, you know, they don't understand the taxing, and you're coming up on the tax season right now. They see you didn't make money. No, you diverted taxable income to non-taxable income. Make sure they understand the benefits of a direct selling business for tax reasons. And if your tax accountant, and if you're using an accountant is not on board, get them on board. Teach them about that. The 5 Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace by Gary Chapman. Oh, whoever sent me that other one, would you send me that too? I haven't read that book.
Nicki,
I'll find it. Yes.
Nicki, could you just repeat what you said about the, I think you said it was about taxes? I missed it.
Yes. Sometimes, you know, our partner doesn't understand why it looks like you didn't make money. You made money. You just diverted taxable income to non-taxable income. Your mileage, your internet access, your cell phone, you know, the things that you're doing, your trips when you're stopping and meeting with customers along the way, that they don't understand that. So letting them know, yes, we made money. We just don't show all that income because we have an opportunity to write off so many things. By the way, if you're not writing off your mileage, I'm just going to throw this out here right now. Get a dollar bill and tape it to your window. And because I think it's 57.5 cents or something like that. So when you go 2 miles, not even 2 miles, just throw it out the window and then tape another one up there. And then throw the next one out the window. That will remind you to start tracking your mileage. Keep track of what you're doing. Run your business like a business. My Mile IQ app. Oh, send me that one too. Whoever's writing me this, I hope somebody's going to write this to me. Mile IQ app. I haven't seen that one. That would work for my son because my son doesn't want to write in a mileage log, and goes in different vehicles. He's got 3 vehicles for his company, and he's horrible at it, and a tinge of ADHD. And I'm now going to get him on that app. That will be good. Thank you. Mileage IQ app. Yes, I did my taxes last night, and I diverted owing taxes with write-offs. Good for you. This is all part of what's going on today. People, look how much money you spend at a job, you know, and you can't write off coming and going to the job, but your clothes and your, you know, lunch is out and all that stuff. Nah, you have a much better opportunity within the direct selling space to do it differently. Anybody else with a question or a comment or thought, you can unmute yourself or type it in the box. I just love that you're still here. Ooh, that's fun. Anybody else?
It's funny being in the business only for a few years and not being in the business world prior to this. I didn't know about write-offs or what could be write-offs. And one of my friends said to me, you know, all those beautiful clothes that you bought for conference, save the receipts.
Yes, be careful with that. That you better ask a tax professional, because it's usually if you have a uniform or if it is a special gown for your gala event, that's something like, there's certain guidelines all on that. But so make sure you tell your tax accountant that. I'm not going to profess to be an accountant, you know, because so get somebody that's a specialist in direct selling. If you go to the DSWA website, let me see if I can get you there. I'm going to see if I can get you over there. There's a place that is dswa.org. I'm going to take you there, because this, you get a discount on first year of it's under about. So the first year taxes with this accountant that is a specialist in direct selling, and he does it from your own home. He's really good, and it's one of the benefits there as a member. So it should be on there for sure. It's on the app. So if you don't see it there, go to the app and you'll find it. I think this should do it. I'm saying share. Okay, so here under about, there is meet partners. This is on the website, and it'll give you a bunch of alliance partners. And you can also find coaches there and things like that. But let's look at these alliance partners, and I'm going to find you this guy. He's good. I really like him. These are some of the discounts and things that you get. Jody Tiernan, there he is. And that's right on the main on the website. So you don't even have to go to the app if you want to. Just let him know that you found him through DSWA. So there's another thing that you can do. Lots of other benefits. If you haven't looked at that, go back and look at it, because that'll support you. I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to bring everybody back again. Okay, anything else? One new message. Jody Tiernan is awesome. I'm so glad you're using him. Thank you, Jackie. And he does webinars on his Facebook group too. Okay, great. Thanks. You got to have someone that has an appreciation for what you do and understands what you can do. And is not like some of the councils say, well, you definitely do not want to write off your home office. That's a red flag. Well, that's full of baloney. So if you got an accountant that's telling you that, get to somebody that knows your business. Anybody else?
Nikki, this is
Yes.
Dawn. Hi.
Yes, Dawn. Hi, Dawn.
Just wanted to share with you that last night, I think it was last night, I held a separate discussion with my team, because they seem to be going through kind of that, you know, swag time where, you know, everybody was complaining kind of thing. So I held this open discussion on Zoom. And, you know, somebody said, oh, I lost my best customer and whatever. And my husband afterwards said, you were asking them so many questions. You sounded just like Nikki.
Oh, that's so good. I hit my head. I was like, that is good, because you know what? You're making them think about something different. That is so good. I'm really proud of you for that. You know, that would be a good thing, because, you know, every month we have our mastermind call for members. That would be a good mastermind topic. What do you do when people do things like that? You know, when they want to permanently whine.
Right.
And so if I think it's on, I'll tell you the date it is on. If you can be on there on this Thursday, it is Thursday, the 28th. That's our mastermind call at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you can be on there, Dawn, that would be great.
Yeah, I think I put it in my calendar when I got the email earlier. Mhm.
Perfect. Great. Anybody else with something? Good comments coming in. Good night to somebody. They're ready to go. Tax webinar where there was something put in about that. This is your chance. Speak up or forever hold your peace. I just want to ask the beautiful lady, the last name is Aromir. How you pronounce your name? It's beautiful. Modupe?
It's Modupe Aromire.
Aromire. Modupe. Beautiful.
I've had several classes with you with Avon.
Yes.
And the coaching class and all those certifications.
Beautiful. Well, I just love your name. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And I would like to say it correctly because try saying Keohohou. I get called everything. Keohohou. You know, I answer to anything, but I do like when people get the name right. Anybody else that has something you'd like to
Thank
share?
you.
You're very welcome. God, everybody is staying on, you guys. This is like, you're all on the phone there, but that's okay. I'm just glad you're there. What else can I do to support you? Speak up or forever hold your peace, as my mother said. This is kind of like our own little time together. I try to not plan anything after these classes so that I can just be with you for extra, because sometimes great things come up. So anybody else with a thought? It sounds like possibly joining your group could be tax deductible. Oh, yes, you're so smart, Miss Deb. Of course it is. That's an educational. And every class that you go to is tax deductible. So you want to do all that. Thank you for asking.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is my first time on, so I want to know, do you do this week? Is this weekly or every other week or?
We do a free class every month. You want to definitely at least, you can become a member for $8.95 a month. So you get invited to everything. Or you can go and you can just sign up for the newsletter on the homepage, dswa.org. It's at the top. And then you get to come to these classes. We do different ones every month. You're a member, you get the ongoing recording of all that stuff because it goes onto the app. So you have it on your phone. So there's tons and tons of things on there. Thank you for asking.
I've
Anybody else?
I've been following for a while, but this is the first time I had a chance to get on.
Oh, I am so glad that you could get on today. And I hope you found it worthwhile for you.
Yes.
Thank you, Maria. Anybody else? Okay, we're gonna call it quits for tonight. Loved being with you and a lot of new people from new companies in different countries. So let's just do this more often and stay for the after show. That's always the fun part. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a great night and thank you. Aloha.